Apple Watch Ultra 2 promises expedition-grade durability and real cellular freedom on your wrist. Either we've reached the ultimate adventure smartwatch or we're about to expose some expensive confusion. On paper, it's wild. 49 corrosion-resistant titanium, Apple's brightest 3000 nit always-on display, dual-frequency L1 plus L5 GPS, 100 water resistance with dive features on device Siri, that new double-tap gesture, and up to 36 hours of battery or 72 in low-power mode. Sounds like a no-brainer for athletes and adventurers, but here's the thing, spec sheets don't climb mountains. I took the Ultra 2 through trail runs, pool sessions, city GPS torture tests, and a weekend backpacking trip. I've put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after a solid month of testing. Here's what Apple says Ultra 2 will do. Deliver rugged, pro-level endurance with best-in-class visibility, accurate GPS for navigation and training, freedom from your phone with built-in cellular and international roaming, and multi-day battery life that outlasts the typical Apple Watch. Pretty bold claims, right? The Amazon Renewed option I tested sits around 424.96 with a 4.5-star rating and the Blue Ocean band, which makes it even more tempting. But here's where things get interesting. They claim 36 hours of battery and 72 in low-power mode. Reality check, with always-on display, mixed notifications, GPS workouts most days, and some LTE, I averaged about 40 to 48 hours. That's good for an Apple Watch, but it's not multi-day in the Garmin sense. Long GPS workouts, Apple touts up to 17 hours of continuous outdoor training. What you actually get is closer to 12–14 hours of continuous GPS in my testing, depending on brightness and LTE use. Here's where it gets mathematically impossible. Stream music over LTE, crank brightness for that 3000 nit pop, and you'll eat 15–25% per hour. So yes, it can do a 50K trail race, but a 100-miler without charging is a no. They claim the freedom of cellular. What you actually get is conditional freedom. Setup still requires an iPhone, carriers charge an extra monthly fee, and international roaming works only where your carrier supports it. In wind, call quality is fine but not spectacular, and LTE shaves hours off endurance. It's great for quick runs without a phone, but don't expect full-day battery with heavy LTE. They claim the biggest, brightest display ever. Reality, the 3000 nit peak is gorgeous in direct sunlight and genuinely easier to read with sunglasses, but it's adaptive. Indoors or on long sessions, it auto-dims to save power and heat. Low-power mode cuts refresh and brightness further. That's by design, but you're not living at 3000 nits. They claim extreme ruggedness and 100 water resistance. The titanium case is tough and light, and the sapphire crystal holds up, but the raised bezel will scuff against granite and gym racks. Water resistance is WR100 and N13319 certified, which makes it great for swimming and recreational scuba to 40 m. Here's the plot twist. To unlock true dive computer features, you'll need the Oceanic Plus app with a subscription. Without it, you get a solid depth gauge and logs, not full decompression planning. They claim ultra-precise GPS. Dual-frequency L1 plus L5 is legit. In urban canyons and under heavy tree cover, tracks looked cleaner than older Apple Watches and close to high-end Garmin's. My route distances were typically within 0.5–1.5% of a measured course. Heart rate versus a Polar H10 chest strap stayed within 2–3 BPM on steady runs and could lag 5–7 BPM on sprints. Very good for wrist-based, but still wrist-based. They claim a magical double tap. It's cool for pausing timers, answering calls, and scrolling without touching the screen. What you actually get is roughly 80–90% reliability. Thick gloves, very cold hands, or choppy movement sometimes confuse it. Not a deal-breaker, just not literal magic. Battery life? In normal use, I saw about 40–48 hours with the always-on display and daily workouts. Low-power mode stretched to –60–65 hours if I stayed off LTE and cut workouts short, but I never hit the full 72 unless I treated it like a pager. Continuous GPS workouts landed between 12 and 14 hours at auto brightness. Add LTE music and you're closer to 8–10. If you're coming from a Garmin Enduro 2 or Fenix/Epix with multi-day GPS, that's not switching, that's expensive confusion. Build and comfort. At 61G for the case, the Ultra 2 feels substantial but not brick-like. The 49 face gives huge data fields, and the 86 dB siren is actually useful, audible up to roughly 180 meters in open air. The titanium finish resists corrosion, but expect cosmetic nicks if you bash it. The Ocean Band locks in securely for water sports and dries fast. Fitness and health. GPS accuracy is excellent, HR tracking is among the best for optical sensors, and the S9CP brings on-device Siri for health data logging. Training metrics are improved in watchOS, but recovery, load, and readiness still trail what Garmin and Whoop/Wearable offer. Sleep tracking is fine, not deeply actionable. Precision finding for iPhone 15 is clutch when your phone hides in couch cushions. Smartwatch stuff, this is where Apple still wins. App ecosystem, notifications, dictation, Apple Pay, offline map support, seamless iPhone integration. Cellular freedom is real for short bursts. Here's what nobody tells you: using all the smart features is exactly what shortens endurance. Pick your poison. Renewed reality. At $424.96, the Amazon Renewed deal is compelling versus $799 new. But check battery health in settings. Amazon Renewed promises at least 80% capacity and a limited guarantee, which is fine. Just know that under 85% you'll feel it on long days. Inspect for scratches and verify the serial. Recommendation: buy with caution. If you live in the iPhone world and want the best smartwatch that can genuinely go outdoors, the Ultra 2 is fantastic, especially around $425 Renewed with a 4.5-star track record. You get a bright, readable screen, accurate GPS, solid HR, real tools like Backtrack and the Siren, and enough battery for a day and a half of real use or a big endurance session. But if multi-day adventures without charging, deep training readiness, or zero subscription dive features are your priority, save your money for a Garmin Epix Pro, Fenix 7 Pro, or a true dive computer. Skip this unless you value Apple's smartwatch powers as much as its athlete chops. Stay savage out there. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I've put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. What should I test next? Ultra 2 versus Garmin Epix Pro for trail runners, or best budget rugged watch under $250? Drop your vote in the comments, hit like if this helped, and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. See you in the next one. Stay savage out there.